What's good, y'all? This is the Ohio podcast interview with Chef Townsend. I'm excited to talk to her today. We're going to talk about some food. She's been telling us about she's been eating all day, just chilling and learning some stuff. So I'm excited to talk to her. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk to you. I know Aunt, you and Aunt seem very cool, and it seems like you guys got a good relationship. So I haven't had a chance to talk to you, and now it's my turn. I get to hang out and talk to you for a little bit. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yes, and this is my first time meeting you, Chef, so I'm
Yes, sir.
excited to learn about, your background and all of the good stuff that you got planned. So it's going to be
Yeah,
a good podcast.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. So we're gonna start with our signature question then. Do you use cannabis? Why or why not?
Well, of course I use cannabis.
Of
But
course.
originally I started using cannabis to help me sleep. Because I have insomnia, so it'd be hard to sleep, hard for my mind to shut down at night. So I originally started using it to sleep, and then when I started learning more about it, I'm like, well, other people can use this for different stuff, and if I put it in some food I be making, then they really gonna want it for real, because everybody don't like to smoke, you
Oh,
know.
you give me some
So
food, man. Yeah, 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 for sure.
that's why I originally started using cannabis
That's cool.
to help with that.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a deep story with it, a very inspiring story with it because you got a lot of background. Um, can you take us back to the beginning? What sparked your passion for cooking, and how did that evolve into a career as a cannabis chef?
So cooking came from my grandma, of course. My grandma was always cooking. I learned how to cook being in the kitchen, following her around, just being all up under her. Cannabis came down the road. I started as a chemistry major actually when I started school, but I always was in the medical field as far as the jobs that I worked. So I had two things. I knew I wanted to help people, and I like science. And I can cook good as hell, like good as hell. Like, but at the time, I didn't focus on the cooking. That was just something like I did on the side. You know, having a green thumb, being able to grow different plants and vegetables. That was like my thing. So as I got older, it was like, hey, cooking is really, the main thing my grandma say is do something you like to do and it'll never feel like a job. Never. Like, so I'm like, dang, well I can cook. I like cooking. I don't feel like I'm working when I do it. I'm at peace when I do it. Maybe that's the lane I need to get in. So I changed lanes. When COVID came around, I was already cooking. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go hard with this real quick and see what I could do with it. And it really took off. And going to culinary really helped me enhance my cannabis style, my cannabis skills, and learning how to incorporate the cannabis, which is the science side of it, into cuisine, which was the different culinary food and methods and the different foods that I like. Because I always been a foodie too. So that's kind of how it came about. That's kind of where it started. And then by the time I finished culinary, they had a program. Cincinnati State started a program, a food science program. So at the time, I want to say UC used to have a program, the same program, but now Cincinnati State, like one of the only schools, they got the program. So now I'm in my senior year of the program, and everything I've been learning is to, eventually create my own edible.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
mean, it's all coming together. So I've been putting the cooking on the side right now to focus more on the science and getting that together, so I can get that degree and get that knowledge I need to be able to make that happen.
You miss the cooking? You miss the
I
cooking at
Okay.
all?
do, I
Yeah.
do. But the job that I work now, I do. You got to do a little cooking in there, just a little bit, just a little bit. So
Mhm.
it's cool, but I still do me on the side. I still do events. I still do um, orders. I still do, 420 coming, and it's on Easter this year. Ooh,
Yeah,
Right.
so
it better be lit. Lit. That'd
I'm
be
still,
awesome.
still working, still making stuff. I'm in a formulating stage, so I'm trying to formulate a edible right now. So that's where I'm at with
Wow.
it while I'm in school.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's transition. We're kind of already onto the topic of cannabis cuisine. So, you mentioned that cooking with your grandmother at a young age really ignited your love for food. What were some of those early cooking experiences like, and how did they shape your culinary style today?
Ooh, everything was from scratch. Nothing came out of can. Everything took time.
Is that hard work?
Mm-hmm.
Everything took some
Hmm.
work. Like
Yes.
from the cleaning of whatever we eat to the cooking methods. Like so now today, like I don't like no food out of can. I don't everything gotta be all my produce gotta be fresh. Like, my meat come from the market. I gotta have, I just she set a quality standard, like,
Hmm.
Yes.
and you got to put the
Okay.
work in even when cooking the food because I just feel like that's what's just gonna make it good.
That's how
You,
grandmas be too.
Yeah.
Like how it
uh,
They don't
is.
play, bro. They gonna make you
They
do the work.
do.
You gonna do the
you
work.
gotta you gotta put some work to it, like, and that's literally gonna make the food good every
That's the
time.
love
So
though. That's the love for sure.
I put that into my style. I love a lot more southern cuisines. Things that take time to actually cook, nothing too quick.
Okay. I love
Them
that.
nice slow joints. Get them,
Something that's gonna take some
them good
time to
marinating
cook. Like,
joints. Yeah.
something that's gonna take
Yeah.
some time. Like,
Hmm.
you know. People are on the vegan trend, but I do still enjoy a good fried pork chop or,
Yeah.
some simple stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm
You
Yes.
getting hungry.
know,
We get hungry talk about this.
them was some
Okay.
of the stuff she would make though. So it's like, oh
We
yeah,
have
you
to. We
gotta,
gonna have to come up there for that 420 event, man. Because the
oh
last one we went to.
yeah,
So, Bree, you don't know this. We covered the last one she did and made a short
Uh-huh.
video for that. It was live, bro, and the food. Oh my God, dude,
that was
Really?
pretty
amazing.
lit.
It
And the
was
and
great.
the
It was
and what
great.
I
What
did
kind of
with this
food?
last time was so good because I highlighted other chefs. So this
Okay.
last time, I had different chefs that I knew around the city that's been doing their thing out here. I had each one do like they specialty dish, and
Wow.
that was catered to the theme, and that was what was served. Like we had Chef Steven, he had a shrimp and grits. He is the owner of Shango's, a taco spot that's here. It's like a African taco spot that's here.
Hmm.
And then we had Jessica, which I met Jessica through Savor Cincinnati. I don't know if y'all hit, but every
Not
spring
it.
Mhm.
and fall, Savor Cincinnati is like it's like a charitable event. But the sponsors are like Kroger. Every year is a different charity that you would give to, but Hard Rock Casino, Kroger,
Kind of
some
more
of
of
the
a
other
bigger
companies,
sponsor.
yes, more on a bigger scale. It's like a five-course cuisine, and it's like two of the top chefs in the city get
Hmm.
together that have two different cooking styles, get together to create a five-course meal, and then they usually have a
Wow.
vineyard that will sponsor, and they appear it with a different wine for each meal.
I'm gonna
So it's like
need
a
the dates for all
it's like a
that.
big thing. It's like a big thing. It's a foodie thing, but
Mm.
she was one of the chefs. The chef I had there, she made that jalapeno cornbread with the chicken, I believe. Um,
Oh,
I
she
know it.
she had
cornbread.
a make.
Yeah,
She
that
was
looked good. That looked good. That was one of the
it,
ones
it
I was
was
like,
it,
man,
it was slapping. She run a restaurant down here in OTR, like a Latina type restaurant down there.
Okay, great. So tell us about Cincy Sweet Pot. How did this business come to life, and what is its mission?
I started my business in 2016. It came to life in 2016 when I was going through the Mortar program. The Mortar program is a program here in Cincinnati, started by three black men to help uh, black people start their own business. They help you raise money, get you a lawyer. Basically, it can give you the tools you need to be able to start a business. And I knew what business I wanted to start, which was the cannabis business, which is essentially baked goods. I elevated to being a private cannabis chef, and getting the necessary certifications through the state, through the Culinary Foundation. So, like I said, essentially the goal is to be able to have my own edibles and to have my own product line that all these thousands of dispensaries that's popping up everywhere can get my product. Hold on for a second.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. As a private chef and caterer, what kind of infused meals and treats do you create? Do you have a signature dish that everyone raves about?
I wouldn't say I have a signature dish. I pretty much create menus that caters to the client's favorites or dietary restrictions. So like I got one coming up this weekend. It's gonna be a birthday, and it's this soy ginger salmon. She like I do it every year, but and it to me that's simple. Salmon and mashed potatoes and asparagus and the dessert. To me that's simple, but to her it's everything for real. So it's
Mm.
really it could be simple, it could be complex. It kind of just depends on the client's palate as far as what I create. So I tend to like the ones that have a more extensive palate and want different things, to make as far as like different dressings or sauces or cooking things with to a certain temperature or type of way. Give me a little challenge to make it,
That's cool to make
but
like everyone tailored,
to
every
them,
dish
like
tailored.
no dish is really the same. Everything is more so geared to what the client wants or what the client would like. So it's special every time.
Yeah, I love that. What led you to start infusing cannabis into your meals? Was it more about the culinary creativity, the wellness benefits, or a blend of both?
A blend of both and a little bit more of the science too. Because um, well, I'm studying to be a food scientist, so I like science and I like math and I like being able to use that with cooking and be able to create different things. So that's a little bit of the creativity blending in there a little bit. And it kind of all three comes together as one. So, but the science is really what I like. Being able to use the different components of cannabis to even create something and just to be able to even isolate those different components. It's just like it's different, and then to be able to
Yeah.
put it into something else to make something even better, like, and we can eat it.
It's
It's
magical.
like it really
Sounds
is, and it's
magical.
all science.
Sounds
Like it's
absolutely
all
magical.
really science. So it's like that's
Wow.
that's that's the part that's intriguing to me. That's the part that made me want to play around with it because I originally did just start playing around with it and
That's like
doses and
it's like a dream of mine just to walk into to a kitchen and just be able to cook whatever I want, or like just be able to experiment with so many different ingredients, just have like a plethora of things. That's just amazing. I think that's great. Like it's really cool. It really is.
so then different things just started coming about, like, and drinks and desserts and foods and sauces. And so now that I'm like in food science, it's like, oh, now I know how to actually formulate it and can use different things outside of, certain products to make it last longer or to make it healthier or to make it more stable. So it's it's pretty dope. It's like a science lab kitchen all in one.
Yes.
It's like I like that. It's like a lab and the kitchen combined. Basically, that's what I do
So
now.
let me ask you this. So you do food science, right? Which is it's super interesting. Sounds like it goes in depth about way more than what we know as far as ingredients and stuff. Like that's how I feel like it's a whole nother level. But
Yeah.
how does food science influence your approach to creating cannabis infused dishes?
It's giving me that. It's giving me skills and knowledge that I didn't know I needed. It's also putting me on a higher level. And when I say higher level, meaning with the y'all both know with the law, it's hard to get to be a black business. It's hard to be a black cannabis business at that, right?
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
hard to be able to say me making stuff at home or the kitchen, as they say, it could be something legally on a shelf at a dispensary. I had to go
Yeah.
with the food science is a different approach to being able to have that.
Mm.
It's gaining knowledge, it's gaining skill, but it's also giving me the knowledge to learn the law and what products and ingredients I can use to be able to create what I'm trying to create and be
Gotcha.
able to get it out to the people for the
Yes.
medical side.
So let me ask you this. Can you share any insight about your infusion process? Like how do you approach
How do I
uh
approach infusion
mhm,
as far
like
as
yeah,
when I'm making
infusing
it?
meals, stuff like that, or like differently depending on whether you're focusing on recreational experiences, like if you're making it for somebody who's using it for medicinal stuff like that. So what would be your infusion approach to that?
So the first thing is knowing the client, knowing do they smoke? Do they use cannabis? How often do they use it? Almost like not really the doctor interview, but just to get a feel for what the level should be.
Yeah.
Some of them, a lot of them now. When I first started, a lot of people didn't know. Like they didn't know their levels. They didn't know, their strains. They didn't know potency. They had no clue,
Hmm.
and because I used cannabis, I was able to get my cannabis card. I was able to go to these different places and learn about it. I kind of had an idea of what like a low dosage was, what versus what a high dosage was, and I started basing it from there. As time grew, and since 2016, a lot has changed in Ohio. People
Right.
know now, their levels. People actually know because they're getting different products and they're reading and they're getting their cards and they're going to the dispensary. They know now, certain levels of potency, um, and strains and like whether, they prefer sativa or indica and knowing those different types of things. That's where it starts. Knowing what the client really likes. And then I go from there. And I'm a lot of times I'm only infusing three different types of product, which is oil, butter, or alcohol, or a drink, should I say, to make a tincture. So, um, and then those things get infused with the food, and knowing, which ones taste good with what types of oil goes with what types of food, and what types of ingredients kind of go well together and which ones don't. That's
Hmm.
kind of how I approach it and incorporate that. But the
We
dosage
had
was just,
Chef Linda Berry kind of mentioned the similar things too when we talked to her and we did the interview about that. That was really it varies right on different types of like oils or like whatever you're trying to really
hmm
like
and you,
intensify.
yep. So it just depends on a lot of things. A lot of things aren't. I mean, they are consistent, but a lot of things are different depending on the person and depending on the product you infuse into use. So it's various types of oils. it's various types of butters. Lately, I've been infusing different vegan butters and learning how they break down versus how regular butter is breaking down and how it reacts with the vegan types of butters and the different vegan products that's out there and making some of those different things. And that's kind of my process too to see for a person that wants to have vegan butter to make different vegan products, how does it work well with those different types of vegan butters. And a lot of that knowledge comes from, going to school for food science. Now I can kind of conduct tests and play with it in the kitchen, so to speak, in the lab and figure out which brands do what and make observations
In
and
the lab. I like the statement in the lab. You can hop
and
in the
that's how
lab.
I tend to learn about what I'm doing. And then you take it to the kitchen. Like, okay, I done tested it. I done seen how it cooks up in different products, just like, switching different sugars up. There's different plant-based sweeteners out there and other different types of sugar that we can use that's better for us, but they cook differently when you mix it with cannabis and different products. So you have to
Mm.
you have to get in the lab and test it a little bit before you offer it as a product or try to have it, something that I'm trying to sell at an event or something like that. But that's typically my approach and how I start the process. You got to know your client.
Yeah. That's facts. You definitely gotta know who you're cooking for.
You got
Because,
to know who you cooking for. You got to know their dietary restrictions. You got to know their allergens. You got to know your client.
yeah, it's facts. So let me ask you this. So outside of your infusion process, what is your creative process when you like developing new recipes? Do you start with a flavor profile, a desired effect, specific strain, terpene in mind? Like any type of that type of stuff?
Uh, I do start with a flavor profile so that'll give me a guideline on uh, what I'm going for, whether it's the mouthfeel, whether it's umami taste, whether it's savory, whether it's sweet, just going even deeper into that, just trying to know what the flavor profile is, and then it's truly trial and error. It's like really being in the lab. It's truly trial and error. So you try different I try different seasoning blends. I try different um like a lot of, like I said before, a lot of fresh things too. Um it's just it's really just getting in the lab and being able to say, oh, I want to make da 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 with I want to make lemon garlic ginger chicken with mashed potatoes, but they gotta be
It
a
all
special
it
red
all sounds
select,
good.
like
It all sounds good.
That
with
sounds
cowboy
delicious.
butter and with
Right.
cowboy garlic butter and da da da. It's like just think
Mm.
of something wow that I would want, right, and then
Sounds so
build it
good.
up as I go, and just build
So
it up
so
as
let
I
me ask
go.
you this. So with your vision, right? So it sounds like you have a very like it seems very sophisticated palette, but like more down to earth. If I had to put an explanation to it, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying?
I don't really like too much of the upscale. Like I I can have caviar, but I prefer you can have some tacos or Alfredo, or we can have some steak and surf and turf, or we could do we could. I have a wide palate. I tend to like everything for real.
Mm.
Like
So
most
let me
people
ask you
don't
this.
though.
For your future, what kind of products would you want? So basically, what kind of products would you want to create? Like, what would you want to create as your own food? And what kind of products are you envisioning? And what impact do you hope they'll make in the market? So, like what kind of impact are you looking for once you develop your own food to go out there?
Some products I want like I want a few different like kits. So like for example, like how Kentucky Fried Chicken got their own flour batter that you can fry your chicken with.
Hmm.
How You go to the cake aisle and you got Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines and all of that, and you can get everything in the box you need to make X, Y, and Z. I want products like that, but I also want fresh products too, like how you got Home Chef, and you can go get you a salad, and it got the little dressing in there, and it could be the little infused dressing or whatever the case may be. Um, I know y'all are y'all familiar with the line. Y'all know Simply Truth.
Hmm.
Y'all hit y'all hit the Simply Truth.
Yeah, that's hey. I drink their limeade. They're simply limeade all the time.
So the
What's that?
Simply Truth line is just a healthy line that Kroger's came out with. That's Kroger's is the creators
Hmm.
of Simply Truth, and it's really just a more healthier based line of products with alternative ingredients that is more healthy for you, but still giving you good quality products. That's what I want. Like that's what
Yeah.
I want. Like you got your own product line. There's no one specific product that I want to make. I want to be able to have a line of different things that's cannabis incorporated that people can utilize. Whether it's a section at the grocery store, or
Yeah.
or the doctor's office, or the Wild Greens, or the dispensary, wherever it got to be a medical area or whatever. But I want it to be like that, where it's a line of products that people can utilize, that they don't have to just, in a sense, grocery items.
Yeah,
In a sense, grocery items, whether it's fresh, whether it's dry mix, whether it's something frozen and you can thaw it out and whip it together. I want it
be
to be
dope.
products like that.
Like you walk in the store and you see your actual logo and your line and your branding colors, and yeah, bro, that'd be
That'd be
that
dope.
would make it'd be dope, make you feel good.
That'd be dope. Following all the, FDA, all the regulations, being in compliance with all my ingredients and every product there, and being able to, people have a card, and if they got it, they can get it.
Yeah,
Just
for
like,
sure.
regular, just like anything else. It's been tested. It's been made at the factory, so they legally, so they can't say I made it at home. It's made to code. It's checked, triple checked, and you start small. You have a few different things, but my top seller is the strawberry lemonade. So of course that'll be. I have my little
Mm.
lemonade line. Like have that. That was like one of the first products I ever made, was making a simple lemonade and infusing a tincture in it, and what
I
that
love
bitch off
lemonade.
top. Like
I drink that. I would drink that for the rest of my life. Like
I
that.
love lemonade.
That's I'm
if
like
I,
that's like my
strawberry
number one
lemonade's great.
seller. Like, so of course I want to have some drinks. So I've been learning more about beverage and alcohol, and learning more about how to incorporate cannabis in that, and learning from the job about how to go into the beverage people over there and listening to what they talking about, and learning about how they move, and introducing
Yeah.
myself, and that's how you move with it, and that's kind of where I've been going with it
It's
to
dope.
get it there.
Nice. Okay, so we're moving on to the next section about being the only one in the room and overcoming challenges. So you've talked about being the only one in the room who looks like you and how staying true to yourself has been key to your success. Can you share some of the challenges you've faced and how you overcame them?
Being the only one in the room. That's everywhere, and that's still now. That's with the new job. Same scenario. That's in all my classes. Same scenario. But I done turned it into my strength. Like, oh, okay, I'm the black sheep now. Okay, like I see what's going on. Like I gotta be better.
Yeah.
I gotta be the best. I gotta be number
Yeah.
one. Like I gotta
The
show up. I
compet
gotta show
No,
out.
I
Like
feel that.
That's
every
the
time,
competition. The
every
competition.
time, every time. And they don't even. It be so crazy. They don't look at it like that for real. Not all of them. Some of them just be still trying to figure stuff out. Like they don't even be always looking at it like that, but I done learned to look at it like that. Like, all right, you
Yeah,
gotta be great. You gotta be number one. You gotta push through.
that's powerful. I like that a lot. Okay, how has your father's support shaped your journey? What are some of the key lessons he's taught you that you can carry with you today?
My father is my best friend,
Mhm.
and key lessons: just stay true to you. If you ain't feeling it, don't rock with it. Do what you want to do. Don't do what others want you to do. Do what you feel. He always has been. I'm an only child, so he has always been about you. If that's what not. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. If you don't feel good about it, fuck it. If you don't want to go that way, go the other way. Like he and no matter what you choose, I got you. No matter what,
Yeah,
even if it's the wrong way, I got you
yeah,
though. When
no,
you
for
mess up and
sure.
you come back and tell me, yeah, that was the wrong way, I got you, and we gonna walk the other way. Like I got you. So
I love that.
he's always been real supportive about no matter what I want to do, and I'm one of them people. I do a million things. Like I
Hmm.
be having 5 year goals. I be trying to do in 3 days. Right.
Yeah, I feel that.
be
No,
trying to
trust me, I
do be
understand.
trying to do too much. Like, and
Yes, but that's
I'm one of,
okay.
and it is, but
Yeah,
I'm one of them people where anything I want to do, anything I want to try, I tend to do it.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
oh, I like modeling and I want to try it. All right, I'm about to model all summer. I done signed up to all these programs. I'm about to model all summer just to see, just cause. Like, oh, you want to be a foodie? Oh, okay, I'm about to start my Instagram and I'm about to get with videographers and I'm about to network with people and I'm about to turn up. Like, I just,
Yeah,
no matter what you got going, if you stay true to yourself and do all the things you like to do, everything be cool. You'll be successful.
facts.
You'll be
That's a
successful. And my
hundred
daddy
percent.
just always pushed me to do that. Like, you want to try
That's
it.
good.
Don't regret it down the road and not try it and then be regretting that you didn't try it because you don't know. You could have been great at it. You
Right.
might not, but if you don't try, how you gonna know?
That's so true.
And even if you're the only one, sometimes you might be the first one. So don't be so
Yeah.
concerned with being the only one all the time.
Yes, it's
And
about perspective.
that really has been getting me through even speaking on the cannabis more like in the school setting, like as far as like my project, my graduation project is on cannabis. All of my culinary project was on cannabis, and just educating others about it and being able to be the only one that looked like me in front of 1,000 white men and being like, no, this is what's going on, and this is what's up, and this is what some of the problems. This is what can fix it, and being able to stand on it. You
Yeah,
know, that's hard to do for real.
true.
True.
Like
It's very
that's real
hard.
hard to do. So it's like, dang, and then I'm the only one that look like me too. Like, and I'm a woman. It's like, oh. So then it's like, so he always just say, you might be the only one, but you might be number one. Shit, you fuck around and be number one. So go ahead and keep doing it. Like, go
Yeah,
ahead and keep talking about it. You know how many people told me when I started my business that shit was gonna fail? Like, and that we not gonna be talking about it after that year. Like, that was 2016. We in 2025. Like,
Yeah.
people still want to know what's up. Like, people still want to learn. People still want to grow in a sense. You know what I mean? And cannabis is a growing industry every day,
it is.
every year.
Very
Same with
true.
medical, same with food. Like, them three things not going nowhere.
Facts.
But as
Facts.
long as we got you around, we know the food is gonna be solid. It's
For
all gonna be. It's gonna be
real.
fantastic. It's gonna be
It's not
delicious.
going nowhere. It's not going
Yeah,
nowhere. So the more you learn about it, even if you are the only one, like keep doing it. Like, you mess around and be like I said, the only one, number one.
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel you.
What advice would you give to young women, particularly women of color, who want to pursue a career in the cannabis or culinary industry?
Learn everything you can. Learn everything you can. Go to every event. Travel. Go meet people. Give out your business card. Sign up for events. Network, 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 network. Like, I done
Yeah.
met so many black women and people, period, just from being in the room, just from being there to learn. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I done traveled to California to meet all kind of people that's doing it better than me, that got more than me, that's further than me in the process. Like, you gotta, you want to grow, you gotta go. Like, you
Yes.
gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta be able to move around, because if you don't, you're not gonna learn anything. It's okay
Yes.
to do all the research. Don't gotta dive right in. You learn everything you can, and go from there. Continuously gain knowledge on everything that you're trying to do, whether it be the law, whether it be food, whether it be whatever part of cannabis the industry that you're trying to work in. You need to gain knowledge in all of those areas, and focus on that, so that you can make it
Definitely
happen.
Yeah.
And you need your education for sure. They already don't want us at the table, no way. And I know
true.
people be like, college, woo, woo, woo. But shit, if I need that paper to get at the table, I'm gonna get that paper. Like, if
Fact.
I needed to be sitting up there so y'all can feel like I got enough credibility for me to even speak up here, and y'all can hear me out, I'm gonna get that paper real quick.
Yeah.
Fact.
You still do what you need
For
to
sure.
do. You
They
still,
can't say nothing against the paper.
They
they
That's the
can't say
key.
can't.
anything.
They
Can't say
can't.
Yes.
nothing against.
They
Can't say
can't.
nothing against the backing of the
They
paper.
try to rule against experience. We don't care how much experience you got. They don't care where you don't work at. They don't care. I mean, they do care to a certain extent who you know. I won't say they don't care about that, because a lot of times it do be who you know. That's why I said network, make friends,
Yeah. True. It's both.
make friends, because that does factor in there,
It
a
does.
good 50% of the time, 60% of the time.
It
It
do.
does.
It,
It really do.
Networking is so important for anything, but
it's
like
key.
I know in culinary, it is key for sure.
It's key. It's key, and stay in your lane. Don't focus on what everybody else doing. Focus on what
Right.
you doing.
Right.
And it's gonna be a 100 people that want to do what you do. There's gonna be 100 people that's gonna try to do what you do. It's only you. So focus on you. Focus on what you want to do, so that you can become great at what you trying to do, and not get deterred by the outside noise. Learn the
Mhm.
law for sure.
Sound like superwoman right here, just defending everything, bro. So
I'm just
look,
saying.
that is actually a lead in to my skit. So my skit is basically all about superheroes. I'm a nerd, so I'm gonna ask you a couple of nerdy questions. Just gonna pop off the mouth and see if you like nerd stuff. If you don't like nerd stuff, we could talk about what you're interested in. So let me ask you this: Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite super. I don't got no favorite super. I don't even got a favorite superhero. I don't.
You have a favorite superhero?
I
Who?
don't.
All right. So let me ask you this: If you had to pick one, who would you pick?
I don't. I don't know.
You not sure?
The
Or
best
about
black
this
one. I don't know.
the best black one? Okay, okay,
Yeah, I'm like
okay. All right. So check it. So I give you
Black
this time.
Panther.
You say Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
okay,
All
yeah,
right.
Black Panther.
We
That's the best
got
black
so
one.
I'm gonna educate. I'm gonna educate. All right. All right. Cool. 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 So just in the spirit of things of black superheroes, I have a bunch of them on my mantle over there. As you can see, I collect stuff. Uh, I'm gonna talk about John Stewart, which is right over there, if you guys can see, and also Sam Wilson. So these two dudes are actual veterans. They're Marines, but they're very good humans. And the reason why I say that is because one is actually a therapist, and one was an actual former Marines, but he actually went and changed his life to be a therapist and be more of a recovery side of like helping Black folks to be able to recover in things that they suffered in. So both of those superheroes are really special to me because one really works hard to make sure he can have everybody grow together, and then the other one is just kind of mental. He's mental solitude, his fortitude against like I want you to be better. I want you to grow, and he helps you to get to that point. So that's two really cool black superheroes if you didn't know. You should go check if you haven't checked them out. This is just for the audience. If you haven't checked them out, it is John Stewart. He's a Green Lantern, and Sam Wilson, who just had the Captain America movie. So if you've seen Captain America recently, that is basically who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Sam Wilson. So
But
cool.
Captain America's black?
There is a black Captain America. Yes. Hmm. You didn't know
Okay.
that? You didn't know that?
I don't know anything about
Yeah.
superheroes.
There's a black
Nothing.
Captain America. There's a black
Same.
Captain America. And
Like,
they just dropped, and literally they just dropped a movie like
They
with
did
the
just
black.
drop a movie though.
Yeah,
They
just
did just
dropped a
drop a
movie
movie.
with Black Captain America. So you should check it
what is
out. You
it
should go
just
see
like
it.
in a
It's
different
good.
is it just like in a different universe he's black or something? Cuz
No, no, it's the same
he's
use.
usually black.
He's the natural successor of the dude who actually originally is Captain America, Steve Rogers. So the white dude gave the black dude the shield, like because that was his that
Oh.
was his homie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
okay.
and that was his sidekick, and that was the person he always trusted. So he gave him the
Oh,
shield,
that's
and now he's
part of the
Captain America.
plot.
You think it's part of the plot?
I mean, cuz that's information that I would need to know that I wouldn't
that
have.
is that is the original is that is the original part of the story. Yes, it's
Yeah, I
part of the
needed that
Marvel
background.
story. So he gets old. He ends up getting old. Basically loses all his power. Steve Rogers does because he has this whole super serum and stuff like that. But so when he gets old, he basically
Hmm.
says, "Hey, I need to pass the mantle on." And they're all in this big uproar, and he gives the shield to Sam, which is Falcon in the comic book. So originally he's a different superhero, but he gives him that, and he becomes Captain America, and he goes on to defend this Captain America, and that's what he's been ever since.
Interesting.
And he's been that ever since, actually. Yeah, he's been Captain America.
Okay. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
what's up.
anybody ever tell you there's black excellence in America, black excellence is here because we have a Captain America, and there's a whole story about a whole black excellence of someone being black and excellent in America. So there you go.
Go. There you go.
That's my that's my superhero time. I'm finished. I'm done.
Drops the mic. Love that. Did you want me to go into mine?
You could either you want to hop into the questions or we can go straight into yours if you want.
Okay. Yeah, no. We can get the questions in. I feel like that's probably more important, but I
You
don't
it
know.
seems like it
I
seems it
didn't
seems like you ready. It seems like you ready to do.
I thought we were doing our skits at the end, so I'm just like, yeah, I didn't know.
Nah, I was that's why I said I was just gonna go based off flow and just how everything's rolling. It seems like we all
Okay.
having a good conversation, so I snuck it in there.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, we're actually moving on to education, community impact, and advocacy. So, outside of the kitchen, do you participate in any community initiatives or educational programs related to cannabis or culinary arts?
So this year I have not. The past few years I have doing different I did a I do a lot of stuff with kids.
Okay.
So um On the culinary side, I do a lot of stuff with kids, not the cannabis side. So on the
Yeah.
culinary side, I did a lot of programs. I did two programs where one was incorporating science and cooking. So it was like essentially like a science camp for a lot of different
Okay.
Black children to learn um, how to cook and how to be sufficient in the kitchen and to learn different methods of cooking and how to be a little bit more independent, but also learning some different science skills.
Hmm.
So I worked a lot with that program, teaching kids in the community uh, those type of skills. Um, I did a lot of I've done like a lot of classes as far as um, kind of teaching like how to cater, if that makes sense. Like teaching people how to prepare, how to prep, how to um, be sufficient more so with meal prepping and catering and doing different events more so on the background side. So more like the planning. When I graduated from culinary, I also graduated with hospitality management. So that way, as a as like another
Huh.
hustle, I can kind of teach others how
Yeah.
to get to it or handle business on the culinary side.
Nice.
This year I really haven't did too much because I'm like I said I'm gearing up on my last year of school and my classes have been like real life crazy. So I haven't had any time, and then I started this new job, so I really haven't had time this year so far for anything else. Like nothing else. I know 420 is coming up, so I'm trying to figure some things out so that I can get more active and get back into the cannabis community. I've had to put it on hold right now so that I can kind of focus on the food science aspect. But when I jump back in, Walls of Wellness does a lot of programs. She was at the event as well, and she does a lot of cannabis education. She's going through the process of being a nonprofit organization in the cannabis community, and
Wow.
being essentially being a cannabis library for the community. Like that's
Nice.
basically what's the project is her being her business is being a cannabis library, a resource for the community for our people. So I've been working on that project with her a lot. Trying to get our people to come to some of the small events just to learn, even if it's on Teams, like on Teams meeting, even if you got to be virtual, just to learn about what's going on in the community. Um, when they're having meetings on cannabis, how you can go through the process, like how y'all we talked at the beginning, knowing that you can't carry, with your cannabis card and knowing some of those things and kind of being aware, of the different laws and, the different classes. I'm hoping to so Cincinnati State is getting ready to start an edibles course within another year or so. And I've been working with the main chef, fingers crossed on that I could be like one of the teachers
Nice.
on the class to be able to kind of teach some of those different things. So
That's gonna
we'll
be
see how it goes.
fun.
So
Love
I got a few things in
that.
the future, a few things in the past on hold right now, but I dibble and
No, that's
dabble.
awesome. Sounds like you
That sounds
stay
exciting.
busy. What kind of cannabis education do you think is most needed in our communities, and how do you incorporate that into your work with Cincy Sweet Pot?
Most important information with cannabis is the law.
Yeah.
Knowing the rules, knowing the regulations, knowing the law, knowing the dosage, knowing the potency, knowing the rules. Period. Like it's not just let's just do this, let's just eat this, let's just drink this, let's just smoke this. Like knowing, having that education. on the law and the regulations of cannabis is just like the most important thing. Because if you don't know what you can and can't do, you're gonna make mistakes that you could have easily, you know,
Right.
avoided. So knowing the law, knowing the cannabis laws, knowing the rules and regulations is gonna be number one.
If you could change one thing about the cannabis industry, what would it be?
That stupid stigma that is just like, pothead, can't do nothing, smoke weed all day. Like, I
Right.
hate it. Like, the
Yeah.
moment you start talking about cannabis, it's like, oh, she got locks, oh, she's sucking about weed, oh my God. Like, she
Right.
can't possibly be saying anything of importance or knowledgeable. Like, it's just, I hate that. I
Yeah.
hate that. Like I hate that that everybody associates cannabis with like being a pothead. Like I absolutely hate it because it's so much more. Like it's so science wise, food wise, medical wise. It's plant wise. It's so much more.
Yes, I
It's so much
agree.
more.
It's a
It's just
whole realm. It's a whole
like it
realm of
really is.
possibilities.
It
Yeah.
really is. And all they focus on is yeah, pothead, smoke weed, like, you talk about cannabis, you must smoke weed all day. Like, that's if I could change that, to change people from thinking that way, that'd be the main thing I would change. You know?
Okay, I can definitely agree with that for sure. And yeah, I resonate with that because that kind of brings me into my skit. I feel like this is a good point. So, welcome
There
to
it
the
is.
Hamper
There it
House.
is. There it is. I
Homeless
was
and
waiting
bound.
for it. There it is. I
Wholeness
was
and
waiting
Balance
for it.
Vibrations. It's Mystic Mommy, aka the Ebony Hempress. And so we're in the Hemper's house. So right now we're just going to take a moment to just be mindful and to reflect and connect in the name of cannabis, of course. I like to just ask our guests, if you could just tell me a little bit more personally, like if you could describe your connection with cannabis, could you just tell us a little bit more about like your personal connection with cannabis and what it means to you?
Safety, relief, comfort. Um, like I spoke on cannabis initially being for my insomnia and food being my happy place. So, those two things together, tend to bring me calmness, comfort, relief, clear mind.
Yes.
People always think cannabis makes you hyper or overstimulated, but for me, it's more, it slows me down. It
Yes.
calms me down. It mellows me out. It helps me think. It puts me at ease.
I agree. I love
and that's
that.
and that's what I connect with the cannabis. That's like the main thing that I love about it.
The
I can
slow
definitely
roll.
relate to that. I can definitely relate to that because I am like prone to anxiety, so I feel like cannabis helps me stay grounded.
Hmm.
It calms my nerves. It's like very supportive of my nerves. And yeah, so I love that. I love that cannabis does that for you. My last question. If you could imagine that cannabis was like a sacred spiritual guide for the world, which it is, but if it had a message for us, some words of wisdom that you feel like the cannabis plant is trying to give us, what do you think that would be?
Words of wisdom: stay calm, be at peace. Simple,
Okay. I
simple.
love that. I love that.
Facts. Okay.
That's what I want people to think too when they think about cannabis. Like,
Yes.
be at peace, stay calm.
Yeah, it's not reefer madness and all of that crazy nonsense. It's we be chilling. Like it's
Like,
peace and love.
Right, right.
think things
We
through. Calm your mind. Think things through. Like,
Yeah.
you good. Like,
cool. Well, I appreciate that. That
Thank you.
every time you do that, every time you do a skit, I'd be like, "Hey, bro, this is on a
Thank you
deeper
so
level.
much.
This is on a deeper level, fam. This is dope." All right, so we go jump back into the questions. This one is on balance and passion at work and personal growth. You wear many hats as a chef, business owner, and student. How do you balance everything while staying inspired and grounded?
whew, honestly,
Yeah, yeah, that's a doozy.
it is. But the biggest thing is just really staying organized. Like, I'm overkill on planning everything to the T, or trying to at least plan everything to the T, day by day, to the month, to the 3 months, to the year. Um, and for real, my support system. Like, shout out to my support system for sure. Because they always got my back. My daddy, my mama, my kid's father, his family, like, they all supportive of my goals. They all supportive of, everything that I'm trying to do and accomplish. And that really do matter.
Yes.
Because trying to, be trying to be a mother, trying to be a good daughter, trying to be a student, trying to go to work, trying to run my business, you know, trying to
A lot. It's a
live my
Yeah.
whole
life,
lot.
trying to date,
Yeah.
thank to do everything. Like I said, I'm
A
gonna I'm
lot.
do everything. Like, I'm gonna do everything. Like,
Yeah.
and you won't feel defeated if you doing things you love to do for real and you being true to
Right.
yourself. Like,
That's
Right.
fact.
so I always try to just do that, and it tends to work out. Now, am I perfect? No. Do I have crash out weeks? Hell yeah, it be weeks when
Everybody
I'm,
crashes out.
man.
Everybody crashes out. At this point,
Hey,
everybody crashes out.
Monday I was ready to Monday. I can't even lie. Monday I was ready to withdraw from school.
Oh
I
my
was I
goodness.
was
Mm.
exhausted. I was tired. I was overdoing it. Like, then I get to the day and I'm like, damn, I've been in beast mode. Got a couple of wars at work. Like, I'm like, the grades is up. Like, I'm like, oh, you was tripping. Like, you was tripping, because it was just, it always get ugly right before the storm passed. Like, I've been on my job today like 40, 50 days or something like that. So it's like, it's gonna get a little harder. It ain't just being in the kitchen where I can cook and listen to my music and be in the 70s listening to whatever I want and dancing around. Like, it's not like that no more. It's like, now I gotta, talk to people and use the pH meter and go measure the water activity of the steak that they were gonna cook, or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot more mind work, like scheduling meetings, talking to people. It's a lot more. So
Yeah.
I was kind of
So
over.
based off of that, so it sounds like you prioritize like your knowledge, your learning, right?
Hmm.
So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned in your journey so far? Like, what are some of the lessons have you actually like fully taken on and accepted?
You can't do it all, and the biggest one, in due time. Like, everything not gonna happen when you want it to and how you want it to. You gotta be able to accept that things take time, and you only gonna get whatever you put into it. So if you don't put that much into it, don't expect a whole lot to come out. You know,
True.
if you don't put enough time into it, don't expect, things it to be a slick turnaround. And that go from making products, that go from juggling your day to day, that go
Yeah.
for my schoolwork, being in class, that really apply to everything. Like it
Mm,
apply to everything. You gotta be organized, you gotta prioritize that time, and you just gotta understand everything come in due time. That's one of my biggest challenge. I want things to go right when I want it to go. I want it to be when I want it to be. I want it to flow how I want it to flow when I want it to flow. And that's not how life goes. Whether it be your job, your home, my kids, at school, that's just not how life goes. And I'm used to being an only child. I got twins, so that's a challenge in itself because it's like, well, I got to deal with two of y'all,
double trouble.
two
That's what
more people,
double
like
trouble.
when I'm used
mhm,
to just being alone, like or being by myself. Like I'm like, two opinions, like unsolicited, like
mhm,
every day,
mhm.
like for real, like so. You gotta roll with the punches sometimes too. Roll
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. So, looking ahead, what's your biggest dream and what's your biggest goal? And what's next for Chef Tyler Townsend and Sissy Sweet Pot? It's all a big word. Sorry.
The dream is to be able to have my products and have my business going and not be able to and not have to work. Like my biggest dream is not to have to work. Like
Facts.
get money though, but don't gotta work. Like, that's
Yeah.
like that's what I'm really working towards. Like I
That's the
want
dream, fam. That's the
you
dream.
feel me? I
That's
want my
it.
stuff
That's
to be
it.
able to I done got into a contract where my stuff is being made, is selling, deposits. I holler like yeah, I might do a couple virtual calls or something like, but I want to be able to be with my kids. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to. I mean, I don't want to get money without having to really go to work. I want to put in enough work to not have to work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want to work for what you feel me? I'm not saying I don't want to work for what I want, but I want to be able to put in enough work to not have to work. Biggest goal is to have like some of the livest, some of the best selling, most profitable, most health beneficial cannabis product on the line out there. Right?
Tennessee Sweet Pot be the biggest thing on earth, bro.
You
It'd
feel
be the
me?
massive.
We're gonna start in Ohio and then we're gonna get out
Mhm.
there. I want, I love being a private chef, but my biggest goal, I want a product. I want a product line.
Yeah.
And I want it to be able to, help people, be profitable, taste good, sell
Taste good's a
fast.
must. It's gotta taste good.
It's
It's
lit.
must do.
maybe it's the lemonade, and they drink this lemonade
Man.
when they sugar low or some shit. Like,
That's a
what I
hit.
mean? Like,
That's a hit already.
something
It really
something
is.
on the medical side, or we got one where it got some kind of, cancer patients got some kind of hair growth something. Like, you drink it, your nails and your hairs get to growing or something. Like, you feel me? Something,
Yeah.
I want a product line.
I hear.
Nice. I was
So
about to say, I want. Can you make like a blueberry lemonade or something like that, like a blue raz lemonade or something? Because
Mm-hmm.
don't
you make a blue
don't be
drink,
adding
I'ma
flavors.
be down.
You
I'm all
added
right.
flavors. Oh
All right.
man.
That's the next project. Okay.
Blueberry lemonade. Oh, that's gonna be
That's
fire.
that's the next project. Okay. Blueberry
Ooh,
lemonade.
tasty! I can't wait.
That's what
Oh
we gonna
man.
have.
Well,
Okay.
You gonna have to product review it. You gonna have to drink it and product
I
review it
would I
on
would love
hey,
that.
here.
yeah,
That's what I
give me some good.
do.
I've experienced it. Give me that food.
Yeah, no, I want a
Give me the
plate too,
food.
though. I want a plate too.
We're gonna have to have some a little luncheon.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be so fun. Okay, great. So, where can our listeners follow your journey, book your private events, or try your infused creations?
Everybody can follow me on Instagram. I'm on Simply Sweet Pot _ and my email is on there as well, so they can always contact me by email, um, or inbox me if they're inquiring. I've had a
Okay.
thousand websites, but you know how that go with the cannabis. they
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't last
Yeah.
too long. That's just the reality of it. But
facts.
I've been pretty successful with word of mouth. So,
I
you reach
believe
out to
it.
me. I'm pretty good at responding through social media.
Wonderful.
Before we wrap, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience or upcoming projects? Anything you wanna, promo?
No, not really. Go follow me on Instagram. We got 420 coming up, and it looks like we're gonna have our own small cannabis cup at the Cincinnati Fairgrounds, the Ohio Fairgrounds, usually where they have the state fair. So
What?
be on the lookout for that. I will
Yeah,
be
Cannabis Cup.
there.
Oh,
We
fam, I'm
What?
we
about to be there.
we gonna be having
Oh
some
my
of
god.
that.
What?
And then
Oh,
I do have a wine that I'm working on that'll be launching soon, especially
What?
for 420. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Oh my
But
god.
we got a cannabis cup and some wine, Cincy Sweet
Some
Pie
some
wine,
like
sweet
infused
red.
wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that sounds
I'm
so
excited.
good.
That sounds amazing.
I love
So
wine.
good.
Yeah,
It's my
it'll be
favorite.
good. So I'm working on that. I'm definitely working on that.
Thank you. Well, Chef
Hey
Townsend,
now.
it's been a pleasure. It's been absolute pleasure to just talk with you and
Yes.
actually get to hang out with you this time. I know, like I said, Ann's been hogging all the hangout time and like texting and stuff. So this is I'm glad I got to talk to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you. It
time.
was nice meeting you.